Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan Aranda here, my best life Paraguay. And today we're going to be exploring the Costanera of Asunción. Right now, I'm going to bring bigger themes than that, mostly about the last 6 months, and then also going ahead here in 2025, right, for my personal life and for the channel. Right, but as you can see, there's some imagery here of the Costanera, which is the river walk, right in the Bay of Asunción, right outside of the historic part of downtown Asunción. Right, so it's pretty nice area overall, and I'll get into the safety aspect in a little bit later in this video. But here on the map, we've covered Calle Palma and Barrio Loma San Jeronimo, and today we'll be walking on the Costanera for this video, right? So yeah, so it's right in the Bay of Asunción. The walk itself should be about 15 minutes or so, but I also crossed to the other side and filmed kind of where the carnival grounds are as well. Um, yeah, so here's a zoomed in version of the map where we're going to be heading. And actually, to let you know, I put in where the Barrio La Chacarita is, and that's kind of more of a poor neighborhood, if I'm just going to be honest. Um, and so the reason I bring that up, right, is because if I'm gonna be completely honest, this is not always the safest area, right? You're usually better off in numbers, right? When you go in with groups of people, but there have been cases of like pickpockets and like even more serious stuff, right? For robberies and that kind of stuff. Now, it's not to say that, obviously everybody who lives in the Chacarita, um, is causing problems, but they're just, a handful of people. Anyway, so what I zoomed in on the bridge that you just saw in the B-roll, that was the Héroes del Chaco bridge. And, this just gives you a good ground level, um, view of what you can expect to see at the beginning of this river walk. I really like to film like this to give you guys some context, just on the ground, uh, context to be able to um, imagine yourself if you were here, right? And so, one thing off the bat, it is kind of on a busier road. So you do kind of notice that and feel that. Like if you were to cross to the other side, it's actually pretty hectic. Not right here, but towards the end of the Riverwalk where the fairgrounds are, it's kind of a hectic place to cross the street. Um, and actually, I will mention too that in the middle of this boulevard area, there is a bike lane as well, right? So this is kind of bike friendly, right? Yeah. So here are the stats on the Asunción population in the area, right, that I brought in past videos as well. Asunción is a growing city, about 2.3 million metro area. I've seen numbers that put it at 3.5 million. It's kind of hard to know the real numbers, but it's in between that 2.5, 3.5 million people. So it is a bigger city, right? It's a pretty major metropolis, right? The capital of Paraguay. Okay. So yes, as you can see, not much happening in the front here. I think this is a boat landing or a boat. No, what am I saying? Departure place, right? And then yeah, we continue on the Riverwalk. It's not like glorious or spectacular, but it's a nice walk, right? Um, you know, like I was saying though before about the safety aspect, it's not it is because it's so near to La Chacarita, that neighborhood. Like I said, there could be shady characters. Like we even came out in the day. There was actually an instance where I was or not me, it didn't happen to me, but on the other side at the same day, there was a guy who tried to do like an armed robbery kind of thing, not just to scare you guys off, right? And in fact, well, actually, here you can see the path, the bike lane. I believe, kind of in that middle boulevard area. Anyways, so yeah, getting back to the safety aspect of this place. there are going to be patrol cars and even cops walking up and down the Costanera. But mostly that's going to be mostly more at night when most people explore the Costanera, right? Because most people don't go during the day because number one, people are working. Number two, Asuncion's not a true touristy spot, right? And the Costanera isn't really a true touristy spot, right? So like it's not like a Rio, right? Like if this was on the ocean or even in Encarnacion, like that has a way better beach, way more family friendly, people friendly place to be in Paraguay, which I've done videos on a few weeks back when I was in Encarnacion for a week, right? But there's a good example of somebody biking as well. There will be bike groups as well. You can organize to get yourself set up, right, to do all that good stuff. But yeah, just be cautious around here, you guys. Try to go in groups of people. It's always better to so don't do what I'm doing and go off on your own, right? I'm doing this, for filming purposes, but it's good to have like a friend, even a couple. There's more safety in numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So here we're just kind of coming up to, just there's some random monuments up here. All right. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to mean, but whatever. It's pretty cool to look at. Anyways, so some of the bigger topics I want to jump into today, you guys, is 2025 and moving forward, right? And there was a great video that YouTuber Luis Jose Global put out, right? And the video is titled "Leaving America in 2025," right? And I'm gonna put that info here on the screen for you guys. And yeah, in this thumbnail it says like, watch this if you're stuck, if you're wanting to move abroad, right? So I'm actually gonna, this is not like obviously a true reaction video, but I am gonna pull some themes, some notes I took from his video, which I thought were all excellent and on point because I was thinking a lot of the same stuff myself, but he just hit the mark with every single one of these points, right? Luis Jose Global. So you guys go follow him on this channel if you don't. He was here in Paraguay, which is how I saw him, right? Yeah, he was in Ciudad del Este. I think he was in Asunción as well, right? I'm just filming random stuff in the B-roll. I don't even know what I'm doing. It was really hot day, you guys, out here. Anyways, anyways, so what I was saying is yeah, he hit some really good points, and I'm just gonna bring in a few of those and see kind of like where they align with my life as well. But go check out his original video though, so you can get more context on his life and his journey and where he's going, right? Well, I guess one thing I will say, number one, congratulations, Luis Jose, because he hit monetization within 5 months, you guys, which like I'm not even fully monetized, and I've been at this like for a year, but I've only truly been like traveling for 6 months though. So like, yeah, I kind of count my channel as being more of like a 6 month channel. Yeah, I had a couple of videos at the beginning, but I really kind of stepped away for the first 6 months. I was in the U.S. still, right? But the last 6 months that I've been here in Paraguay is when my channel has really like started to pick up. So congrats to Luis Jose. I know that was a thing that he strived for. He got it relatively quickly, and he deserved it. He has great travel content, you guys. I was just he's been to Latin America. He's planning to go to Asia and to India as well. So definitely get over to his channel, and I'll reach out to you, my man. Just if you come across this video, and I'll reach out to you so if you want to do a interview conversation kind of thing. Just so you can get on more audiences, that kind of thing, right? Okay, so I'm just checking out signs and some monument stuff here in the background and the B-roll in the walk here in the Costanera. But I'm gonna start pulling out some themes from his video, right? So one of the biggest ones that like he brought up pretty much off the bat is the element of fear, right? And the fear that that can really stop you from pursuing your next steps to pursue your dreams, right? I struggled with this a long time, right, myself, just like to get over stupid personal things like the way I look, or like I've always been a decent speaker, but since the pandemic, I really kind of isolated myself, and I didn't realize how many social skills I was starting to lose because of the pandemic, and like afterwards, and even before that, I was just kind of like a hermit, even in like a really hermit like kind of relationship as well. And so I kind of lost my gift and my ability to speak for a while, tell stories, to be able to go off, right? So there's a lot of insecurities I built up, right, because of that, those fears, right? And also, just the fear to like do something new, man. The fear to do something new is like, I mean, it can be unrelenting, right? Because I personally think, and this is something that Jack Morgan always brings up, another great YouTuber, right? But like he always brings up that uh you know you, pretty much everybody who's struggling should consider starting a YouTube channel. I know that sounds like ridiculous to a lot of you guys, like, oh, I'm not cool enough, or I'm not interesting enough, or nobody will relate. I'm here to tell you guys, people will absolutely relate. If you Even if you think you're the most boring, dude ever, um yeah, do something like I'm doing. Go out and film one day, even if you're in the States or something. Do this, and then like do a video recording over it, and then just go for your thoughts. Tell us your ambitions, tell us your dreams, tell us your goals, tell us your life story, tell us your challenges, tell us where you've effed up, tell us where, the mistakes you made, what you learned from those mistakes, how you've grown, how you plan to grow, like, all that stuff that I always lay out there for you guys, right? But if you let the fear like control you, as my man was talking about in his video, right, like it'll eat away at you, and you'll just put it off for months and years, right? And a big thing that he kept talking about, I believe my man is only 29 years old, but he feels that he started too late on his YouTube journey. Now, again, I just brought up that he's very successful. Like you guys need to understand, 5 months to get fully monetized, that's pretty wonderful for real talk in this YouTube game, right? So yeah, like, mad respect for everybody who just goes out and does it, man. You guys got to understand too, like Jack Morgan also brings up, is like not just the fact that you guys should be starting YouTube channels, whether they're travel, self-improvement, even if you think you're boring and just talk about anything, right? You're gonna have some people relate to you. I promise you, this world is big. I've been contacted by people from all over the world that I didn't even imagine, dude. I thought it would be mostly Americans. I get people from all over the world contacting me, right? And it's really cool, right? To like link up, talk, get your guys' opinions, thoughts. What are your guys' life solutions? What are you guys dedicated to? What are your um, whatever? What are your projects you're working on, etc. And you could really set yourself up to be a real global citizen, right? Yes, through virtually, but then you'll get other opportunities. You'll meet people, and it'll be a really cool experience, no matter what, right? Um, but yeah, that fear to succeed, what it really is, uh, and to maybe take a break from the corporate grind or the institutional grind, right? And like give yourself a fighting chance in a low cost of living country to like do something like this, film a bit, talk about your life, talk about your experiences, show us some new places, talk about the dynamics of the places you're going, right? And it could really pay off, you guys. And like, anyways, like Jack Morgan, God, I keep forgetting my points, but he was saying YouTube is a gold mine. It's the 21st century gold mine. It's the red rush. It's the gold rush, right? But virtually, right? So like that's kind of why I also knew that, like, man, yeah, I could wait longer and longer and save more money. But the thing is, like, I just knew something in my heart was telling me, this is the moment. You got to do it, right? And I did it. right? And I'm doing it, right? This is why like I'm filming multiple places. You guys have seen me go multiple places, right? There, some of them may not always be the most fantastic, glorious places, but who cares, right? And some of you guys don't like that I talk about. Well, most of you guys do, but there's a small group of people who don't like when I talk about my personal life or my life story at all. But I think it's incredibly relevant, right? All this you guys can find online somewhere, right? B-roll, right? You guys can find pictures and cool little touristy traps on Instagram, right? The 3 minute highlight reels. You guys can find all that. But I think that people latch on to human beings and the stories and want to get a little bit past some of this B-roll and get to know the human behind the filming, right? The challenges and because like I'll just keep it honest, like I mostly speak to people who are stuck, right? And most people who relate to me are younger men like me, right? So like if they feel stuck, like they're gonna be some of the first who relate to like some of the same issues we are facing in our high cost of living countries, which are usually most things come back to economics, right? Which I bring up all the time as well, right? Which was actually Luis Jose Global's pretty much his final conclusion as well. That like at the end of the day, it comes back to economics, right? Um, yeah, and going beyond that, another point he makes are far too many people, and I've talked about this too. Far too many people are delusional about the cost of living in America, right? They think it's normal to pay, I don't know, astronomical prices for food, astronomical prices for rent, for houses, for this, for that, for energy, astronomical taxes, right? You guys know how much the government's taking, right? And you're probably never going to get away from that. But like, I'm just saying that if you're gonna you might as well at least take a fighting chance to set up a life in a lower cost of living country, right? In a country that's gonna treat you right, treat you well, right? Like Andrew Henderson always says, nomad capitalist, go where you're treated best. And you guys know my story. I'm born here. I'm from here. I'm from Paraguay. I am Paraguayo by blood and by birthright. Um, so so yeah, the whole like, and I brought this up obviously, but the whole residency process was easier for myself, but that doesn't mean it was an easy life to make it to this point, right? But you know, he was on point with all this stuff, man. I mean, yeah, far too many of my friends, they're pursuing $400,000 houses, $350,000 houses, $500,000 houses, and I'm like, for the love of God, why? You're gonna spend your entire life trying to pay your mortgage, house insurance, property taxes, HOA fees. That's not even including transportation. I mean, you guys are you're. I mean, it's it's a cycle that if you get caught up in to pursue the new American dream, which is not achievable unless you're gonna both work like 3 jobs each and like have a very little to time for yourselves and like a family or like a healthy like work life balance, then you're gonna keep playing that game. So like, why not in your free time, like try to do something like this or do something like Luis Jose Global, right? Um, and I don't know, you guys, like, it really is crazy, man. That like far too many Westerners, dude, are just so delusional. Now, most of you guys who follow travel channels and relocation channels, um, you guys are on point with your thinking, right? Like 90% of you. There's some of the passport boys, passport bros that and obviously not the whole movement, but they're individuals who kind of f it up for most other people, right? But any young man, young woman, hell, older man, older woman, families, couples, who are serious people who want to move abroad, like that's wonderful. Good for you guys. Check out Paraguay, right? I mean, like, the thing is like people, the haters, right? They kind of hate on me and say like, "Oh, you're bringing in the wrong crowd." It's like, first of all, no, I'm not. But second of all, even if you thought that, like, do you really think like, yes, I have been hit up by some people that said, "Hey, man, you really inspired me to really consider Paraguay, this and that." Um, Visiting residency, moving there, finding a girlfriend there, starting a life there, like you really inspired me, and that's really cool. Like real talk, right? From my end, right? But at the end of the day, like this just it's just a little bit of inspiration. Like you guys are taking the real steps, right? The working hard, to keeping your head down, to saving money, to saying no to going out, uh to saying no to relationships, right? In the US or other Western countries, because most of the time, most travelers are single, right? There's some couples and some families which are really cool when the couples and families want to relocate abroad, or permanently relocate abroad, because in my mind they're the most serious, right? But most other besides that are mostly men and women, single men and women. I mean, but even then, breaking that down, it's mostly single men, right? Who are moving abroad, who are permanently seeking they're seeking permanent options of living abroad, right? And that kind of has to go in some of the dating stuff as well, which I won't really cover here on this video. But this is just, I guess if I can break down, yeah, I'll do that, right? My last 6 months has been an experience I've never had in life, right? Where I can focus on like growing my own thing, doing my own things, right? You know, being in my home country, or being in my birth country, you know what I mean? For a significant amount of time, to live a little bit of life, man. Life is too short to like, it's just far too short to be worrying about insignificant things, insignificant people, right? And believe me, there's your challenges over here too. There's your trying to surround yourself by the right ones, the real ones, people who want to look out for your best interests. Believe me, the game doesn't stop once it's here. It actually evolves once you actually do move abroad, right? Um, the far too many people think up until the point of moving abroad have this fairy tale mentality of everything is going to be perfect once I move abroad, just because I'm economically better. But a lot of people start kind of falling off because it's usually pretty petty things too, like I don't know, a society moves a little bit slower and they're moved to more fast pace or that kind of thing, and it really like messes with them, and they need to be surrounded by just like a bunch of go-getters, and that's it, right? And no time for casual time and stuff. But I'm like, man, when you start moving to some of these slower paced, more traditional countries, man, you gotta really try to fit in, right? Not like that you have to like start looking like everybody and and like all of that. Like, keep your own style, your own swag, your own goals, your own dreams and ambitions and projects and all that. What I'm saying though is like you kind of have to adapt a bit to life, right? And that's actually the president's palace here on the B-roll. But yeah, so anyways, my man had a great video, you guys, really truly. And yeah, go subscribe to his channel. Yeah, Luis Jose Global. And yeah, his go check out his full video, right? But again, for him, congrats on monetization. And like he's going full throttle with his channel. And so am I, you guys. That's just one of the last points I wanted to bring up. I don't talk about that enough, but it's true that I want my channel to be one of those channels that lives, man, that lives and grows and has healthy growth, and like provides like real stuff for you guys, right? Like I try not to be one of those guys who just like throws it all in your face. That's why I also take time to like do like maps and stuff, so you guys can see, okay, this is where he actually is. This is what he's actually doing, right? I could just like show up somewhere, right? Not explain any of the logistics, any of the pricing, any of that stuff, and be like, hey, guess where I am? You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, it might be a little bit boring the first 1 or 2 minutes of my videos, but I think some of you guys appreciate the logistics part of it, right? Which I usually put at the end, which actually the maps are going to pop up at the end here again, which I've been doing. But this I try to break it down in a realistic sense. That's why I also try to cover content like I show you guys like $40,000 houses, $80,000 duplexes, 112, $130,000 beautiful houses, right? Because Those are more, after you do the steps to move abroad, the residency stuff, then that's where it starts paying off, right? Then you're like, hey, you know what, man? You know what? I'm not going to go for that $400,000 house in America. I'm not going to. Right. And I brought up a lot of times. Okay, here, just pause. But here's the map again, you guys that are going to roll through just where we walked. Okay. But, I just do a few things to get stabilized in another country, the bank account, the residency stuff. And then, like, give yourself time to build something new, right? And also, continue a job or find a new job like this, like online, etc. as well. But try to make your own thing too, man. You guys need to be starting YouTube channels. You guys need to. Men and women, couples, families, you guys need to do this, right? This is a gold rush. It's a gold mine of the 21st century. It really is. That's why I think it's incredibly important that my man's here thought it was important, and it is, right? And then you can have wonderful experiences and do videos like these, and you know, uh, you do well for yourself, and not only that, but for your family, and then for the future generations behind you. Make your kids global citizens. Make sure that they have multiple citizenships around the world, right? Be strategic when you do this stuff. um and it'll pay off in the end, you guys, I promise. And yeah, I'll give more of my life updates in a separate video, but hopefully this continues to inspire, help out you guys, all that good stuff. Okay, you guys, the reason I wear glasses is because even with my other ones, even with these bad boys, it's still, I get like a headache and strain. So and plus it my eyes wandering kind of like I usually do, it really kind of messes with me too when I see it on the screen later. So that's why I wear the glasses. Anyways, my bad. But point is, you guys, try to set yourself up to like get more attainable things, right? Like I feel much better in my heart, and I know I'm talking about prices again, as Luis Jose also concluded his video, but like I'd much rather try to go for that $40,000 house. That's like a car, you guys, back in America. Okay. Now, if you tell yourself, okay, I can do this. I can save 40, 50 grand by myself. But 400 grand? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then beyond things like that, there's extra costs in America. You guys already know this in the Western countries, but I don't know. It usually comes back to economics for everything, right? Even when dating goes on, like you do better when you're economically stable, etc. This is nothing. That's why all these things are interconnected, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'll stop there. I'll stop preaching. Thanks again for watching another video of mine. This is JOIN the MyBestLifeParaguay. You guys already know. Like, subscribe, share. You guys are wonderful. Thanks for hanging in there. Truly, I got a lot of love for you guys. Thanks for all the support in 2024. And subscribing and hitting me up and contacting me, and just stay tuned for more in 2025. And I'll keep you guys updated with all life stuff. Take care. Much love.